that people all around the world buy a total of 1.5 billion plastic bottles per day? Well, our reliance on this type of bottles is increasing rapidly, and our environment will not stand the test of it. This is because we have so many plastic bottles lying around without any formal use or any useful mean. Most of these plastic bottles are not recycled, and as you know, these plastic bottles take very long time to degrade, and hence they cause a very huge danger to our environment. It is in Zambia, 52.5% of the population consists of young people, and these young people are entitled to sexual reproductive health services. But due to the current crisis, which is COVID-19, these young people are not able to access these services despite it being their right. This is because they fear of contracting the virus once they go to the health center to collect any form of service. It is for this reason that I have come up with a project with a vision of creating a better environment where young people are able to access sexual reproductive health rights services during and after any form of crisis, like the one we have right now, which is coronavirus. The mission of this project is simply to build safe spaces with the use of plastic bottles for young people so that they continue to access sexual reproductive health rights services against all odds. Building of safe spaces with the use of plastic bottles will not only benefit the young people, but it will also be of great help when it comes to fighting climate change. This is because
lifestyle kan di kapalo, yeah, kan lifestyle kan, yeah, low, kan lifestyle kan di kapalo, budget, di kama boys ba matay na majaki.
Hi, I welcome you back. So this is Ryan Banda, and you are watching my profile, or should I say my journey. Like I had earlier alluded to, I will be recording a video of myself today, trying to talk about who Ryan Banda is, or trying to know who Ryan Banda has been, or who he is right now. So I welcome you guys, and I wish you guys the stick. So don't forget to hit this subscribe part and give it a like so that you can be updated every time I release my video. So I release different videos, and of which that will be part of the stories that I will be telling, what really inspires me, what really my profile sticks to, and what Ryan Banda is. So hope you guys are tuned and hope you guys enjoy. So as I begin my journey, I wish to encourage everyone out there to say, as I talk about my life, or as I talk about what I have been through, or who Ryan Banda is, I just wish to mention to say, every chance that we get to have as an individual, try to utilize the chances that we get. We go through different stories, we go through different backgrounds, and we have different futures, different stories ahead. Write your story in a happy smile. Write your story in your own handwriting. You will be the happiest. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and leave a comment, leave a message on what other video you would wish to hear from me. So beginning with, what are my names, or my full names? So my full names are Ryan Simon Banda Musengi. So a lot of people get to ask me, where does the name Mus come from? So the name Mus is Musengi, and I should mention I've had a lot of comments of people calling me Musonda, Muswat. So my full names are Ryan Simon Musengi Banda, and I'm born in a family of 2 children, raised by a single mother. So I lost my father when I was very little, very young. The only thing I get to remember is seeing him on my photos, seeing him on photos hugging me, holding me, with my sister as well. So I really won't say it's a sad story, because everything happens for a reason. I might have lost my father, but I've had a mother that has raised us strongly, and in Christ's faith we are here today. So those of you that may be growing in a single parented home, or that have lost their father, that have lost their mother, with less hope, I wish to mention to say, guys, we all live for a reason. We are born for a reason, or we are born to die. You might be born today, the next thing that we hear is someone has died. So don't be discouraged. Take chances on every time that you have with the person. Be happy, always have that smile. So losing a parent to me has taught me different things, and I wish to mention to say there are a lot of things that I've done today that I think I might have not done if dad was around. Not to regret, but I just wish to encourage you to say every situation someone goes through has a lesson behind it, and has a lesson that you have to learn from it. I have learned a lot of things in the absence of my father, and I have learned to be a responsible person. I have learned to know what really life holds for me, what really life is like. Yes, I might have not all the education of how it feels to be with a loved one that is a father figure, but my mother has always been that figure that represents a father, that represents a mother as well. So her love has really been put into two, and it's really massive to me that I really appreciate Mrs. Banda. So I have an elder sister. Her name is Barbara Banda, and as I've already mentioned, I was raised by a single mother. Her name is Miss Patricia Yamba Yamba, who's really been a motivation and an inspiration to my life, because she's really taught me a lot of things ever since my childhood, and she's really taught me who is what, and what chances one is supposed to take. So what I am today is all because of her, and that I was why I wish to say, Mama, I love you, and thank you very much for every support that you have shown, and thank you very much for making me be a responsible person. So when it comes to my education, I was at a very famous by then private school that was known as Jack and Jill. That's where I did my early education till I reached grade 4. Then moved to Light of Hope, where I did a continuation of my grade 4 to my 7th grade. And I joined Luansha Boys during my junior secondary life, and completed my senior secondary education at Luansha Boys. That's where I started most of the works that I'm still doing today. So it's not really that is a thing that I've started recently, and majority of the things, that's why people get to mistake. It really takes time for one to be established, and yet it takes passion in order for one to continue their works. So I have done different things, and when it comes to my works, I have worked with different people. I have worked with different figures in society that people might think they are not really of a certain position to put, but it all still counts. So with my works, I have worked as a DJ, I have worked as a radio presenter, then I've also worked as a human rights defender or a children's rights advocate, which I studied during my school life. So I began my DJ practicing when I was 13 back then, and I still continued due to the love that I had for DJing, music, and everything. So when I reached my 10th grade, I studied my music, or I started my DJing career as a radio presenter. Then I started working as a part-time DJ with Ngoma FM, where I was working as a radio presenter, helping out in some pieces that were missing. And it was then that I started a youth show that was known as Ngoma Fan Club, with my friends Bruce, Tehila, and other children that had joined. So I continued till the time I was leaving for my tertiary education, and I worked as a radio presenter for some time and gained experience as a radio presenter. It was then that I established all the qualities and all the chances that I had to take in life. because then I was able to articulate myself. Then I knew to say what really one requires to do in order for him or her to do certain things out is them establishing who they really are. I established myself at a very younger age, I should say, and I think it is something that I really have to say out and shine upon because a lot of people had helped me push myself to certain limits that I had to know who really Ryan Banda was. And just like my name, that means influential. So I had to do certain things that I was never expected to do at a younger age, and I tried to push myself to greater extents and greater heights, that I should say as well. So when it comes to my likes and dislikes, that's really hard to mention. Or I wish to start with my likes, but I'll give a few. So when it comes to my likes, or when it comes to my favorite color that I love this color. That's black. So I'm really a fan of black, and I love white, just like my wall. So I'm a fan of black. I'm a fan of white. Partly purple, partly red can suit, and army green also. Then when it comes to my favorite dish, I really love chips with fish mixed with salads. If not, I would have grilled fish with our local veggies and shima would do. But my favorite dish is having chips with fish mixed with salads. And when it comes to the type of favorite music that I get to listen to, I'm really a person that is wide in all music. I can listen to electrical music, I can listen to rock music, I can listen to gospel, I can listen to R&B, hip hop. I can listen to any type of music, but my favorite type of music is Niger music or Niger vibes. So that's the Afro beat, and of which I also love to listen to R&B music, and I really love some reggae music. At least it keeps the heart beating. And when it comes to my dislikes, they're not really a lot that I should get to mention out. Like every other person, obviously you hate people backbiting you, but for my part, I think someone talking about me in my back really means I'm inspiring that person, and that doesn't really affect me. So looking at the community, or looking at the society's view of one talking about me in the background, they can say bad things, they can say good things, but are they really meaning what they're saying? And do they really know who I am? Is a question. So people may talk back, people may say bad things in the background, but just know to say you are an inspiration to them. And there's obviously something that you are having that they don't. And if people are not talking about you, meaning you're living a boring life. So for me, I refuse to live a boring life, and that's why I really get interested when I hear people talking about me in the background. So, guys, if you are talking about me, please continue. And when it comes to my perspective, when it comes to success, or my perspective, and how I get to view success, I set myself to at least 10 rules that I am supposed to follow in order for me to achieve a proper future or a proper success. And the first thing that I will talk about is me being outspoken. I don't really love to talk, and that's one thing that people get to mistake. Being outspoken and being talkative are two different things. Being outspoken is you giving a picture to people that is an inspiration to someone, is a lesson to someone. And I choose to be outspoken because I want someone to be inspired, I want someone to have a change, and I want someone to remove the fear that they have. My second rule is embracing integrity. Embracing integrity, or love or live with integrity, is really something that one should follow. Integrity is always important. Let's respect ourselves. My third one is you should embrace failure as well. When I mention to embrace failure, a lot of people get to go surprised. Why should one embrace failure? You embracing failure is because once something is failed, you have a lesson to learn from what you have failed. And you can make a positive outcome out of the failure you have endured. My fourth is the choice of friends. People get to mention to say I'm cheeky, he's so selective, he's what. I am not selective. I talk to every person that comes across my way. And I should also mention to say I'm not really a choice that any person can have, or I'm not really a person that everyone wishes to befriend, because others get to think, no, he's cheeky, he's what, he's rude, he's what. So all those put together makes me to have a proper choice of friends. I have got people around my circle that I get to count and say these are my friends because they stick with me in all times. They are there for me, they are what and they are what. So they become part of my family, and it is of which that I wish to mention to say there are a lot of people that were around and that I used to consider as friends, but as time went by, I really got to I saw it to my part to say there were only people that were around me, not as friends, not as family, and they were just like any other person that I would meet in the streets and say hi, how are you, fine, how are you, and the conversation would end from there. So there are people that you would call friends, and you having a proper choice of friends, trust me, gives you a better future because you will know your greater heights, you will know your luckiest, and you will know where you need to improve. Friends are there to improve your life. Friends are there to stick by you in all times, and friends are there to help you be something positive and a change in a community. My fifth one is growing every day. I should encourage someone out there to say, you growing every day is not you taking a step back, but you taking a step forward. So remaining on the same position every day doesn't really consider one as the person that is preparing for a future. You are supposed to make a change every day, every day, every day. Change is supposed to be there in terms of you knowing something, you establishing yourself, and you preparing for what you want to become. Are you making that step? Are you growing every day? Is a question you should ask yourself. My sixth point is search for knowledge. When I get to mention to people to say search for knowledge, others get to ask, is it that I've lost my senses, or is it that where am I supposed to find knowledge? Knowledge is everywhere. Knowledge is in books, knowledge is in friends, and knowledge is outside there. Try to search for something that you know you have passion for. The problem we get to make as young people is we want to stick to things that we know are not benefiting us, and yet there are a lot of things out there that we can benefit from. So let us make time count and let us not count time. That is a thing you should be mindful of. My seventh point is be humble. Trust me, humble is pretty, humble is handsome, and humble is me. So being simple, being humble is a thing that I've really put under my wrist because I know I'm supposed to be humble to everyone, and I know I'm supposed to make a change. Change begins with me being humble. So humbleness is something that one should always chase for, one should practice, and one should always at least show out. My eighth point is prioritize opportunities. Make sure you utilize all the opportunities and chances that you get to have. And my ninth point is learn from tough times. Usually the mistake that other parents get to make is because you had suffered in your life, you want to make your children's life sweet. you are not building that child, you are not helping that child with a sweet life. You worked hard for what you have. Let your children work hard for what they should have. And I should mention from that to say, there are times when I would knock off from school, try to watch TV, and my parents would tell me, the TV is not yours. It is my TV. Go to your books, study, and prepare for the future. By then, it was really something that I thought of being bothered or being so segregated, because I would see them watch TV by then, and you would hear a nice show, you would hear people talking on TV, you would really want to see what's really happening. And I never had the chance, thinking I was suffering. By then I never had a phone, I never had a laptop. So you would go to your room, cry about it, sleep, and next morning you wake up, you find yourself you had slept because you were crying, you wanted to watch wrestling. Then I thought it was something that was being hard on my part, or my mother was being hard on me, but not knowing it was really preparing me for who I am today. I had to work hard for me to earn something. Sitting around or lazing around wouldn't help, and lazing around never helps. So parents that are listening to this, let your children learn from their tough times, because life that is always soft will never be soft for them when they need to be a responsible person. My 10th point and my last point, which is my 10th rule to success, is share abundance and always shine on the opportunities that you have. When I talk of sharing abundance, is there is no need for me to have 3 jumpers if my friend is sleeping in the cold. There is no need for me to have an extra 8 bedrooms if someone is sleeping under no shelter. And there is no need for me to package things if there's someone that is in need of those things. Let us share abundance. Let us share with our friends the little that we have, because it may be of help to them. And when I talk of shining upon all opportunities that you have, get to shine, get to show it out, because you have worked for it. I'm able to shine on my opportunities, and I'm able to shine because I know I have achieved something that my friends at my age haven't achieved. Not to boast and not to undermine others, but to tell you that you have time. I make my time count, and I don't count my time, because I know I'm supposed to do something at a certain time. Plan, budget, and learn everything, because you need it, I need it, and we need it. It will help us develop, and it will help us grow not only our minds, but people will get to point out to you to say, he is a child that we were seeing grow from his house, and there he is. You will be an inspiration to someone, you will be a motivation to someone. So I wish people have enjoyed my 10 routes to success, and I wish people have had a brief introduction of who Ryan Banda is. So wrapping up everything is, I love you guys, and thanks for staying tuned. So don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit on subscribe, and ring the bell if any chances. So if you wish to comment, or if you wish to know more about Ryan Banda, try to pop up the questions, and you can leave them in my DM. I will get to respond to the questions that you may be having. So to all youth, to all young people, take chances, take opportunities, and shine on everything that you do. From Ryan Banda, it is peace, stay tuned, and I love you guys. So my 10 rules are always there to help me build my life, and my 10 rules are always there to guide me in what I'm supposed to do, when I'm supposed to do it, and how I am supposed to live my life. Because obviously you will need something that is going to be of guidance to you. I wish you guys have had something that is helping you guide yourself, and I wish you guys have had something that is helping you live your life as it is. Don't forget, our 10 rules, or my 10 rules, are helping me achieve, establish, and build my own legacy. Are you building your own legacy? Are you building something that people will point out to say, he is a youngster that has raised something that is massive for the community? Or are you living a life that is an inspiration to someone? Or are you inspiring someone? So be an inspiration not an expiration. So I was going to ask me what really made you become a DJ. What made me become a DJ was the love that I have for music. Not really that I sing and not really that I can perform, but me practicing my DJing skills and me exploring the crowds and making the masses happy. That made me enjoy my life. When I was a radio presenter, I knew that was the beginning of everything, and I knew my doors were beginning to open. So every door that I tried to hold would open because I was able to articulate myself. I was able to inspire other young people that were coming. And living a life of an inspiration to someone really made me feel so happy. And till now, I'm still grateful. So that is that are really under influence of choice of friends that are really trying to establish themselves. Be yourself. Be humble. Humble is sexy. Trust me. Humble is pretty. You will never regret it.